3 objects were found by accident. Not in a safe, not buried on purpose, not part of a legend. They were hiding in plain sight. A silk dress with a secret pocket. A glass bottle sealed inside a lighthouse wall. And a painting in the Vatican that wasn't the painting anyone thought it was. Each discovery started the same way. Someone wasn't looking for a mystery. They were just doing a normal job. And then they found something that shouldn't exist. Case 1. The Silk Dress Code. In 2013, an antique dress collector bought a Victorian-era silk bustle dress in Maine. It looked normal until she turned the skirt inside out. That's when she noticed a hidden pocket. The opening was concealed under layers of fabric, almost like it was designed to be missed. Inside were 2 crumpled pieces of paper, and on those papers were lines of words that made no sense. Not sentences, not a letter, more like a list. For years, people tried to decode it. Some thought it was a diary. Some thought it was gambling shorthand. But it didn't match anything. Until a code breaker finally cracked the pattern. The words were not random. They were telegraphic weather codes, a compressed way to send full weather reports using code books in the 1800s. Temperatures, wind direction, precipitation. All hidden inside nonsense-looking words, because telegrams charged by the character. Using the decoded observations and old records, the messages were linked to a specific day, May 27, 1888. So the code had an answer. But the dress had one more detail. A small stitched label inside read, Bennett. No first name, no proof it belonged to the owner, no confirmed reason those weather codes were inside a dress. Even after the code was solved, the most important part stayed missing. Who hid them there, and why? Case 2. The Lighthouse Bottle. This one happened during routine maintenance. Engineers were inspecting Corsewall Lighthouse in Scotland. They removed old wooden panels in a cupboard area. And that's when one of them saw something behind the boards. A glass bottle. It was out of reach, so the team used a rope and a broom handle to pull it down without breaking it. Inside was a letter written with quill and ink. The date on it stopped everyone cold. September 4, 1892. The note listed the names of the engineers who had installed a new type of light in the tower. And it also listed the names of the lighthouse keepers working there at the time. That's the part people didn't expect. This wasn't a dramatic confession. It wasn't a treasure map. It was something quieter. A message meant for the future, saying, "We were here." And the strangest part? The modern team found it while doing the same kind of work, maintaining the light system generations later. 132 years passed, and the lighthouse still kept their names sealed inside its walls. Not lost at sea, not buried underground, just waiting, inches behind wood. Case 3. The Vatican Painting. Now, the last artifact wasn't hidden in clothing or wood. It was hidden under paint. Inside the Vatican museums, a small painting of Christ, called the Redeemer, had sat in the collection for decades. But during conservation work, restorers realized something was wrong. The visible image didn't behave like an original. It looked traced, repainted, as if someone had covered something older underneath. According to the Vatican museums, the painting had been reworked by an unknown forger who concealed the original layers by roughly tracing the image of Christ.
When conservators removed the overpainting, they uncovered what had been buried underneath. A work now attributed to El Greco, a real painting hidden under a fake. And the discovery wasn't just a better version under the surface. The restoration revealed underlying layers, evidence of earlier states and changes that had been concealed for years. This wasn't a rumor. The Vatican even presented it in an exhibition context. El Greco in the mirror, two paintings in dialogue. So imagine that. A painting sitting in one of the most famous collections on Earth, and the real artwork is only found when someone decides to restore it. Not because it was hunted, because someone did their job carefully.
3 objects. 3 accidents. A coded message inside a dress. A bottle sealed inside a lighthouse wall. A masterpiece hiding under a fake. None of them were found by people looking for mysteries. They were found by people looking for nothing more than a pocket, a panel, a layer of paint. Which raises the real question. How many missing chapters are still around us, hidden in plain sight?